Well, here we go. Game number 2 of the 2021 Concacaf Futsal Championship on this Wednesday from Domo Polideportivo in Guatemala City. It's Cuba against the United States. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. Already one game in the books today and a big win for El Salvador as they have booked their spot in the next round, taking down Nicaragua. So in this game today, it's Cuba taking on the United States before Panama will take on Mexico, which is next up. But here in this game today, the final group stage game of Group D. It's the only group that has 4 teams in it, which means they have played each and every day of the group stage. For Cuba so far, they have already been eliminated. A loss against Nicaragua 4-1 to start off the competition before a 2-1 loss against El Salvador. They were actually eliminated because the United States was able to beat Nicaragua 4-2 yesterday, while they drew, the United States did, with El Salvador on Monday. So the referees are getting set along with the teams in the tunnel. We are just about set for game number 2. It's the United States and Cuba. This is all about seeding in the quarterfinal stage for the United States. It's them and El Salvador going through, but in what order? We'll find out as Cuba and the United States gets it to kick off here from Guatemala City coming up.
Damas y caballeros, demos la bienvenida a los equipos nacionales de Cuba y Estados Unidos para el partido de esta tarde del Campeonato de Futsal de Concacaf 2021.
So the referees and the teams in the tunnel getting set to make their way out here at the Domo Polideportivo in Guatemala City. The United States already through to the next round. Cuba trying to get their first points of the
Vamos a ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Cuba, seguido por el himno nacional de Estados Unidos.
The national anthems have been sung, and we are just about set for first kick. Group D action between the United States and Cuba, wrapping up the group stage. The two captains, they're at midfield, along with today's referee, Ronnie Castro from Costa Rica. Captain for the United States, Diego Moretti. On the other side, Rainier Socaras for Cuba. Two very experienced players in Socaras and Moretti. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. We'll start with Clemente Reynoso and Cuba. Ariel Perez will get the start in goal for the second straight day. And a pretty familiar starting five for Cuba. Ariel Perez stepped in for Yasmani Martinez after his red card in the first game. Here's the United States. Diego Moretti once again in goal. Zach Reguet back into the starting lineup. Guilherme Vega will also make his first start of this competition. A red card for both teams in the game yesterday, which means they will be without Sandy Dominguez for Cuba, and on the other side for the United States, Eduardo Buenfil. He will miss today's game after he scored against Nicaragua and then soon thereafter picked up a red card. So both of those players miss out today. So we already know the United States is off to the next round. But will it be in first place or in second place? As it stands now, they are 3 points behind El Salvador. They need to make up a goal difference of 2. And they have 3 less goals scored than El Salvador. So that's what needs to happen. The United States needs to overtake El Salvador in the goal difference category. Of course, they need to win this game to get level on points. Then it's goal difference. Then it is goals scored. But Cuba trying to deny the United States first place, even though they will not be moving on. Now just waiting on Ronnie Castro's whistle before we get things underway here in game number 2. And there it is. Here we go. It's the United States against Cuba. Game number 2 on this Wednesday at the 2021 Concacaf Futsal Championship. Match day number 3. Guilherme Vega, a passionate player for this United States side. Out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, plays for the Milwaukee Wave in the Major Arena Soccer League. Last time out for Cuba. A tough loss yesterday, taking on El Salvador 2-1. They ended up losing. Well, they dropped the first game to Nicaragua 4-1. It was both Nicaragua's and El Salvador's first wins ever in this competition. And they came against this Cuban side here in 2021. Thomas Pandeca falls down, tries to regain his footing, and the United States able to collect at the back through Ventura Jr. Riguette, and it's out of play. Pandeca gets this back in. Ventura Jr. Here's Riguette. Looking to get it wide, and Pandeca's shot is cued out of play. For the United States, their 6th appearance in this competition. They were able to win this competition in 1996 and in 2004. They beat Cuba in the final both of those years, as Cuba has managed a second-place finish on 4 different occasions. They have reached the knockout stage of this competition every single time, and there's a big collision. Manent was there for Cuba, and a player down for the United States. It's Vega. See him turn that ankle. He looks to be in some pain. Another look at it here. Oh yeah, you could see that right ankle turn. So Vega getting some attention. He'll try to get help to his feet. Might have to get taken off here on the stretcher. He'll just get help from the training staff for the United States. Sarah Leslie, the physical trainer. As Vega comes off. Already seen some of that passion from Vega. He can't make it through 2 minutes before he comes off injured, and the United States will have to shift things around now as play gets back underway. It's Julian Escobar who comes on in his place for the moment. And you feel for Dusan Nikitsa and the United States. This is all about rounding into form. And of course, want to be peaking at the right moment in this competition. Since they're through, they technically now only need one more win, and that win needs to come in the quarterfinals to reach the World Cup. If they are able to do so, it would be their first World Cup since 2008. They've failed to qualify the last 2 World Cups. There's a foul. That'll go against Cuba. And a free kick coming for the United States. Another look at it here. Manette just leaving his leg out there. And Ventura went over it. So put back into play. Ponteca's shot is into the arms of Ariel Perez. Starting his second game now for Cuba. Yasmani Martinez is on the bench today after his red card suspension in game number 2. Escobar gets it rolling again. Now Ponteca. Ventura Jr. Too far for Reguet. Knocked ahead. Good move here from Cuba. This ball out of play. Alejandro Morero, number 10 for Cuba. These two teams familiar with each other. They have met a couple of times before. And a chance the United States could potentially see Guatemala in the next round. One of two other teams, aside from the United States, who has won this competition. Guatemala right now in second place in Group A, as Guatemala will take on Trinidad and Tobago later on tonight. It's Group D against Group A. The first place team will play the second place team from their respective groups. Everson Maciel along with Lucho Gonzalez come on. Daniel Matos, Jeremy Klepal waiting in the wings. Maciel. Morero brings this down. Alejandro Morero, it's in! Moretti just whiffed on that one, and Alejandro Morero opens the scoring for Cuba. Something out of nothing here from Cuba. And he was just going the wrong way, Moretti, and he couldn't get his hand over in time. And it's 1-0 to Cuba. Bit of a surprising start there from the United States. And now they have some work to do to try to come back. And Cuba is able to get on the scoreboard first today. The replay really said it well that Moretti was going the wrong way because he's been so good in goal for the U.S. so far in this competition. You wouldn't expect one just to go through his hands, but he was going the wrong way. Momentum carried him. He was not able to make the save. Off the chest of Gonzalez. Here's Gonzalez. Sent downfield, headed away. Hernandez there in defense. As Cuba comes right down the middle. Manent. Jeremy Klepal, 2 goals yesterday against Nicaragua. Started the first game for the United States. Manent play this towards midfield, and the shot skied out of play by Daniel Hernandez. Maciel into the middle, Gonzalez making the run. He was cut off. Now a chance to come back the other way. Manent, as Matos stepped in to clear it, and Maciel will keep this in play for the U.S. one played ahead. Maciel. Off of him and out of play. Maciel, who scored a fantastic goal on match day number 1. The 1-1 draw with El Salvador, the only goal the U.S. scored on that day. The bicycle kick and the assist from the goalkeeper, Diego Moretti. Moretti also had an assist on Pondeca's goal yesterday that sealed the win for the U.S., the 4-2 win over Nicaragua. And it's Berazonte who's tripped up by Matos, and a free kick coming now for Cuba. Unable to get this around Rafael Araujo. Gonzalez gets it going again for the U.S. Jeremy Klepal. Gonzalez. Klepal. Gonzalez. Matos. Kept alive by Araujo, and now it's Klepal's turn. Gonzalez. Back for Klepal. Matos. Good passing here from the U.S. Gonzalez's shot finds Araujo. Now Klepal take this on. It's deflected out of play. Lucho Gonzalez will put this back in play. Looking for Araujo. Hernandez got in the way. And now here comes Cuba. Quick on the break, Berazonte's shot is wide. A long spell of possession from the United States, and I think they wanted a handball here. Well, that's a tough one because it looked like it came off his chest area, or at least his hand that was on his chest, and usually when it hits your body first and then hits the hand, it's not given as a handball. A tough decision there to go against the U.S. Araujo now, his shot is wide. Back heel, and Matos puts this out of play. Ernesto Duanes. Vicencio gets this back in. Shot comes on, and Klepal blocks this out of play. Another shot. This one dragged all the way wide and out of play. And a timeout here on the field with 12:16 left to play in this first half. And so far, it's Cuba out in front. They were able to get the goal that has given them this 1-0 advantage. And here it was, Alejandro Marrero, his first goal of this competition. Dusan Yakitsa trying to get this United States team back in this game. Assistants Pablo da Silva and Otto Orff. And there was a look at Ariel Perez. Came up with some big saves yesterday, but not enough to get the win. It's Perez taking the spot of Yasmani Martinez, who played a really big factor in the first game of this competition before he picked up a red card. So it's really been Ariel Perez in goal for the majority of this tournament so far. For Cuba, Lucho Gonzalez has this taken away. Duanes, now Hernandez. Flipped along for Pena and out of play. 4 subs readying to come on now for the United States. First time we've seen Ricardo Sobrera today. Now Zach Reguet. Here's Sobrera forcing a save out of Ariel Perez. Now Ventura. He's taken off the ball. Ventura. Escobar. Reguet. Ventura's shot is saved. Big shot coming from Alencar Ventura. And Ariel Perez was equal to it. And now it's a corner kick coming, and Ventura will take this again. So Brera's shot blocked out of play by Lazaro Pena. Quickly put back in play. Escobar's shot once again blocked. Cutting in field, Escobar once again has his shot blocked away. So Brera. Another one. Perez pushes this one out of play. The United States good attacking movements here, but Cuba getting bodies in the way for block shots. And this one well out of play from Alencar Ventura Jr. A couple of successive shots there, as it looks like Socorros getting ready to come back on. Going to ground. It's kept alive, but then put out by Escobar for a kick in now for Cuba. Just at about the midway point of this first half. And now the United States' turn for a kick in. What can they get done here? Ventura, now Escobar. Going to play this through for Escobar as Socorros slides in, the captain for this Cuban side. Reguet. Back for Moretti. We'll try to put one towards goal, and Perez is there to snag it. Collision there at the back. Reguet commits the foul. And all good between those two. Two very experienced players in Zach Reguet and Rainier Socarrás. Socarrás, 30 years of age, has started both games, played in the 2016 World Cup for Cuba. Zach Reguet, who actually turns 26 today, out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Ponteca back on the field for the U.S. He comes forward. Ponteca so shifty. Reguet saved by Perez. Corner kick, United States. Here's Ponteca again. Shot by Ventura is blocked out of play. Escobar. Ventura. Ponteca. Thomas Ponteca. Here's Ponteca on the turn, forcing a kick save out of Ariel Perez. Quickly getting down towards his near post. Ponteca fizzled a shot in from the right side. Ventura for Maciel on the volley, and this one will be touched in. Julian Escobar equalizes for the United States. All set up by Everson Maciel. On the volley, sent this back in. Ventura started it there with the corner kick and went through the legs of Socarrás. And Escobar, an easy touch to finish that one off. His first goal for the United States in this competition. So back level, 1-1. Just over 8 minutes to go in this first half. Here comes the shot from a tight angle. Moretti is forced into a save now at the other end. One fizzed in and right off of Ventura. He had to wear that one. And a kick in now for the U.S. Ponteca gets this one across. Ventura's shot as Perez sliding all the way out near the edge of that arc. Gonzalez places him behind. Ponteca takes an extra touch, is brought down. And Hernandez might be in danger here. Just clipping Ponteca. Good move just to try to get around Daniel Hernandez, but he was brought down. Now Cuba will have to organize a wall as the United States has a free kick. Lucho Gonzalez will roll this across. Clip ball forcing Perez into another save. This one rolled all the way through and out of play. Tomas Pandeka has been one of the craftier players for the United States in this competition. Hernandez taking some liberty to come forward. Knocked out of play. Gonzalez is taken away by Berizonte. A free kick. Pardon me, a kick in now will come for Cuba. Trying to come centrally. Castillo scored already in this competition against El Salvador and couldn't find an angle there. And it seems since that first goal from Cuba, the United States is really starting to lock down and gain more control in this match. Gonzalez, Sobrera. I think he was trying to play it ahead for Sobrera, wasn't on the same page. This one just rolled out of play, so possession immediately conceded back to the USA. Klepal. Now for Sobrera. He puts this out of play. Hernandez gets it rolling again. This one headed back to Moretti. Klepal, back heel. Seal wasn't making the run. Now it's Hernandez coming forward. Hernandez cutting back. There's Hernandez onto his left foot, getting closer to goal. Angle getting more acute. And this will be a corner kick. There's a good run there by the defender, Daniel Hernandez. Mostly been the last man back, but has had some chances to come forward as this shot is deflected out. Castillo for Manentz, rolled through. Moretti able to get there. It was right there on the doorstep for Mikel Berizonte. All he had to do was get a clean touch, and instead he hit it right off his chest. So Berizonte's chest denies Cuba of a go-ahead goal, at least for the moment. Maciel on the turn, blocked by Marrero. Put out of play. Just over 5 minutes to go in this first half. Julian Escobar's goal able to cancel out the opener from Alejandro Marrero. That's why we stand at 1-1. Field. Now it's Marrero. Getting it right back. Quick give and go. Moretti able to make a save right on the edge of the area. Throwing this all the way downfield, much like they did yesterday, but Riguet's header is out of play. That is such a big tactic for the United States. Diego Moretti has assisted 2 goals already in this competition and nearly had a third after a big save here on Alejandro Marrero. Here it is. Again, just looking for that little flick, and he actually hit the top of the net. Manent, who plays this to the far side. Villavicencio. Manent will recollect in his own half. Clepol. Trying to play this back for Ponteca as this rolls out of play. Marrero. This deflects off of Matos. This is right off the back of Mikel Berazonte. And out for a United States kick-in. Remember, the United States chasing El Salvador in the standings, at least at the top of Group D. Trying to avoid a potential match with Guatemala, one of the top teams in this competition. And of course, the hosts. Ponteca's shot is wide. Clepol. Now Ponteca. As Pena goes to ground, it's Riguette on the ball. Back for Clepol. Under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Matos. Sent ahead and out of play by Ponteca. Right now it's El Salvador. If you look at live standings, 2 points clear of the United States, and still has that +2 advantage in goal difference as well. The U.S. has scored just 6 goals so far in this competition. I feel like they'll need to get that attack in shape as they get into the knockout stages starting on Friday. Played ahead for Ponteca as this rolls through for Perez. Ooh, and a nifty behind the back pass in his distribution. Pena for Villavicencio. Duanes in the corner as it touched out of play by Matos, and a corner kick up coming for Cuba. Ponteca gets to the end line, forces a save out of Perez again. Tomas Ponteca has been dangerous so far in this match. He's forced a couple of saves out of the Cuban goalkeeper. Escobar for Pondeca. Ahead on the turn. It's Araujo going down as he was asking for a foul, but he'll have to get back to his feet. Now he's holding his right leg. Now give us a chance to look at the replay. Let's see here. You can see the contact in the upper leg, but it was Socaras who did get all of the ball there. I think in the end, that's a pretty good call by the referee. Right on top of that. This is just sent straight out of play by Pondeca. Having a word with the referee. Confused with something. Pondeca, the youngest player on this team for the United States and actually on the field in general today. 19 years old, out of the Dallas, Texas area. Under a minute to go now in this first half. A goal apiece between Cuba and the United States. The two supposed favorites in this Group D as Escobar gets forward. Escobar hesitation. Escobar with the finish. His second goal on the day, and it gives the United States a 2-1 advantage on the brink of halftime. Here it is again. Escobar, look at this move right there. Just that little hesitation. A fortunate bounce, and then right in off of Ernesto Duanes. But that goal surely will be awarded to Julian Escobar, the 33-year-old out of Hicksville, New York. Gets his second goal in this competition. Here comes Maciel forward. His shot out of play. Escobar, born in Queens, New York. Played collegiately at Long Island University Post. Played in the MASL as well. His first cap with the futsal national team coming in 2016. Pondeca puts this in. Shot from Matos. It's deflected out for a corner with 25 seconds to go. Looking for Matos in the middle, and it's out for another kick in, this time for Cuba. So 2 unanswered goals now for the United States. Off the chest. Shot from Castillo is blocked down. Socaras for Hernandez. They get a shot away here in the last few seconds. Defensive pressure being increased here by the U.S., and that will be that for the first 20 minutes from Guatemala City. Well, Cuba scored the first goal of this first half, but the United States has scored 2 unanswered, both of them from Julian Escobar. And we have reached halftime in this final group stage game between Cuba and the United States. It's Cuba 1 and the United States 2. Highlights from the first 20 minutes from Guatemala City, the 2021 Concacaf Futsal Championship. It's the United States taking on Cuba. The U.S. is already through to the knockout stage based on other results that have gone around today. But still a match to be played here today for the United States and for Cuba. And early on, it was an early goal for Cuba. Alejandro Marrero getting the goal. His first goal of this competition, a very experienced player for this Cuban side. He has started in every match thus far, and he was able to get the scoring started for Cuba. But eventually, there would be chances coming for the United States, and they would force Ariel Perez into quite a few saves throughout that first 20 minutes. But eventually, they would get their breakthrough. Pondeca was very good in this first half as well. Reguet at that pivot position also had it going for the United States, and eventually Escobar would get the first of his two first-half goals. And there he was, just to tap that one home for the first of two goals in this first half for the U.S. And then Maciel, of course, he was the one to set that one up. Perez coming up with more and more big saves. Moretti had to make a big save once again on Marrero. And he nearly had another assist going back the other way against Zach Reguet. Then Pondeca had a shot, saved once again. Escobar, he would eventually get his second goal. Be right here. Look at this little hesitation. Fortuitous bounce right to him. And then in off of Duanes' arm. And that would make it 2-1 to the United States. And that is where we stand at halftime. The U.S. chasing El Salvador to try to win this Group D. Right now they have cut the goal difference in half, but they still have some work left to be done in this second half. They need to increase their advantage while still getting all 3 points. So halftime here from Guatemala City is the United States 2. It's Cuba 1. Second half right around the corner. Back for the second 20 minutes from Domo Polideportivo in Guatemala City. The United States and Cuba closing out the group stage in Group D action, the only group with 4 teams in it, which means they have played each and every day of the group stage. There is the goal scorer. You just saw him, number 5, Julian Escobar. He has scored the 2 goals for the United States that have them out in front over Cuba. And we just saw in goal as well, it'll be a new goalkeeper. Ariel Perez will take a seat. And it'll be Yasmani Martinez making his first appearance since the first game of this competition against Nicaragua, where he picked up a red card and had to miss yesterday's game. Here's Pondeca to the United States. Right now, the live standings have them level on 7 points, but still 1 back in the goal difference category. El Salvador has a +4, the United States at +3. And 7 goals scored for the U.S. That's the second tiebreaker. Here's a long shot coming from Pondeca. Martinez wags his finger and says, not right now. Also interesting that Martinez, one of the few goalkeepers we've seen to wear gloves. Many of the goalkeepers in this competition have gone just with their bare hands. And there's the goal scorer for Cuba in this match, Alejandro Marrero. Pondeca, but a bright first half for the U.S. 1 goal for him. He scored that yesterday in his lone start. Today being now his second start and looking for his second goal. Escobar sitting on a hat trick in this game as well. Played through, cleared away. Away, will be taken by Socorras. Shot comes in, and there's the equalizer for Cuba. Just able to tap that home, Ricardo Castillo. A long ball through, Moretti couldn't get there in time. And we're level at 2. Marrero's through ball got by Ventura, and nothing Moretti could do, scrambling across the face of goal. So Ricardo Castillo, his second goal in this competition. Pondeca lost that out of play along the far touchline. Well, not the start to this second half I'm sure the USA and Coach Dusan Yakitsa wanted. But still plenty of time for them to come back and try to find this win. And if you're El Salvador, you have to be pretty big Cuban fans in this second half. You can try to win this group. What an accomplishment that would be for El Salvador to win a group featuring the United States and Cuba. Reguet, now Ventura. Pondeca will get this. Shot is blocked. He was asking for the pass earlier, it looked like, from Ventura Jr. And this will go back the other way. Hernandez. It's Roger Moraton, number 7, scored the lone goal for Cuba in the loss against Nicaragua. Play, kick-in will go Cuba's way. Trent was looking for a different foul, or maybe even just going the other way on the kick-in. Castillo and Marrero not on the same page, looking for the give and go. Ventura and Escobar come off. Gonzalez and Klepal make their way on. Here's Klepal. 2 goals for him yesterday. What can he provide in this second half? Reguet. Gonzalez switches the play. Klepal. Pondeca. Reguet on the turn. Shot is wide. Big frame of Zach Reguet, but just dragging that shot wide. And here's Reguet. Collision as Pondeca went down, and now it's Reguet who is fouled. He is asking for a yellow card for the opposition, and it will be given. Roger Moraton. Yellow card issued, and now a free kick coming for the USA. Deck up. We'll play this for Gonzalez. Now Reguet dribbling towards the corner. His shot in the side netting. Last time in this competition, Cuba got 4th place, losing in the bronze medal match. They lost to Guatemala, the hosts of this competition, and lost to Panama in the semifinals in extra time. But this will be the first time ever that Cuba does not advance past the group stage. Here comes Cuba, trying to start something in the attack. But the goal has been the only sort of attack they've had in this second half. A lot of possession for the United States. Hernandez will try to tee one up and sends it well out of play. Ahead for Ventura, and he just couldn't bring it down. Good move there from the U.S. Trying to build something forward. Dragged into the middle. Moretti forced into a save, and Klepal knocks it out. We saw the middle really open up. Berazonte able to find Villavicencio. Here's Hernandez for the moment, and then he just took his eye off the ball as it rolls out for a United States kick-in. Ventura for Klepal. Maciel trying to post up at the edge of the area for Klepal. And it's out for a corner. Well, now I think he's changing the call. Let's see what it's going to be here. It will go back to Cuba. I think the initial call was corner, and the referee changed his mind. Here's Moretti. Now Klepal. And a giveaway by Ventura. Numbers here. Pena. This is shot deflected out of play. Shot sent in, and here comes Maciel. Ahead for Ventura. Ventura shot, saved by Martinez. First big save Martinez has been forced into in this second half since coming on for Perez. Now can Cuba turn defense into attack? Shot comes on and out of play. Fondeca. Gonzalez. Back for Hernandez. Nearing the midway point of this second half. And we're locked at 2. United States took a 2-1 lead in a halftime before Cuba was able to score through Ricardo Castillo in this second half. Marrero. Marrero back on the ball. Ahead for Berazonte. Klepal. Here's Berazonte. Hernandez for Marrero. Cutting infield, Marrero gets this wide. Chance for Cuba and Berizonte, forcing Moretti into another save. Well worked from Cuba. They've been finding some open spaces in behind this United States defense. Marrero coming centrally, and it's closed down. Gonzalez was 1 against 3 for a moment. Now he gets some help. Araujo. Pondeca lines up a shot, and it's dragged well wide. Flicked along, Reguet with his back holding off. Duanes escorts this out for a United States kick in. Coming up next will be Mexico taking on Panama. More action as this 2021 Concacaf Futsal Championship rolls on. Group B action between Panama and Mexico. Costa Rica will take on Canada, and Guatemala will take on Trinidad and Tobago as this night rolls along, the last day of the group stage. Ten minutes to go. The U.S. and Cuba. Cuba's already eliminated. United States already through to the knockout round. Cuba does not want to go 0-3 in this competition. Such a proud history for Cuba in futsal, and this year just has not gone their way. In for Escobar. Now Pondeca. And it's taken away. Hernandez. That was Socorras actually who touched that out. And a kick in for the U.S. once again. Remember, the U.S. chasing El Salvador in the standings. Gonzalez trying to play this wide for Reguet. Cuba coming in, we knew they were a good defensive unit. They haven't honestly conceded that many goals. 6 in total, but they've only been able to score twice. They've equaled their scoring output in this game alone from their first 2 and nearly making it 3-2. Manent putting it wide. Played forward, Maciel's shot is blocked by Martinez. He made some really nice saves on Monday against Nicaragua. Unfortunately, didn't make enough saves, losing that game 4-1. And for Escobar, now Gonzalez. Blocked out by Moraton. Gonzalez will put this back into play. Sent ahead, Castillo getting around the goalkeeper and just ran out of room there at that end line. Ondeka has this deflect out of play. Here's Escobar. Off the head of Klepal, and this will run back out of play. United States looking for some more ideas, trying to beat Martinez. The 2 goals came against Ariel Perez, today's starting goalkeeper for Cuba. Well, Moretti has played almost every minute in this competition. He had to come off yesterday due to an injury, but was able to come back on just a few minutes later. But it was still Eduardo Macias who had to make a big save. Aside from that, it's been Moretti in goal for the U.S. Here's Maciel on the turn. Ondeka was in there, and Martinez gets rid of this one before he slides out of the arc. Trying to find space, Diaz. Did Moretti get a touch on that? He did, and it's out for a corner. Put in quickly, shot is out of play. And it looks like the United States is going to put on an extra field player here very early. And it's Daniel Matos. I think Dusan Yakita knows what the United States needs. They need to try to match, and there is a goal. They need to try to match El Salvador, and there is a good start to it. They get the lead right back, a deflected shot through, and it's now 3-2 United States. Escobar, if this is credit to him, that's a hat trick right off of Socoras's left foot. Martinez couldn't keep it out. I'm good to give that one to Julian Escobar and give him a hat trick on the day. So a hat trick for Julian Escobar, the United States, a 3-2 lead. Here comes another shot. It is wide from Cuba this time. Mikel Berazonte. To the live standings, the United States back to 7 points, but still trailing in the goal difference category by 1. They have scored 3 goals, which has equaled the amount of goals from El Salvador. So it'll all come down to goal difference for the United States. They have to win this game by 2. If they do so, they will be the #1 seed, at least coming out of Group D, which means that'll be against the 2nd place team in Group A, which right now is Guatemala, but they've only played 1 game, and they will play Trinidad and Tobago later on tonight. Guatemala expected to be the heavy favorites in that one, and the Dominican Republic 1-1 in that group. So most likely a game against the Dominican Republic, but we've seen some upsets in this tournament. Can't count any more out. Sliding in is Zach Riggett. On the turn, it's blocked down. This will be a corner kick. Put in play quick, Moretti has to make a save. Diaz in the side netting. not too far away from finding the equalizer. This has been a very back and forth match, and once again, Moretti trying for that long assist, this time to Reguet. Unable to connect. 6 minutes to go. This is all about seeding for the United States. And Reguet commits a foul. As Cuba goes quick. Hernandez for Manent. Gonzalez knocks it out. Ventura. .542 for the U.S. to try to find at least one more goal. This is the 6th meeting between these two teams. Each team has won twice. A draw in the last one. Here's Reguet. Martinez knocks this out of play. The U.S. 2-2-1 against Cuba, and of course those 2 wins, as we mentioned earlier, in the '96 and the 2004 final. Stakes may not be as high as that today as Gonzalez goes down. Looks like he ran into Lazaro Pena. Final 5 minutes. Reguet. Gonzalez cutting in field. Big save from Martinez. Here it is again, Gonzalez. Looking for that top right corner. Be a corner kick here. Set up for Maciel. Fondeca again. Big deflection takes this out. Another corner coming up. Marrero really wore that one in the chest. Towards the top of the area. And the whistle came before the shot. Castillo now back the other way quickly. Taken by Moretti. Here's Escobar. He scored all 3 goals for the U.S. today. Now leads the team in goals. But in order to win the group, they'll need 1 more without conceding. Hernandez. Fondeca. And now Maciel. The 43-year-old tries to get this one across. U.S. asking for a back pass, and the referee waving that away. Once again, it's Gonzalez going down. We just saw him hit the floor a few minutes ago. And this will be a yellow card. That yellow card to Lazaro Pena. Fondeca. This is taken away. Fondeca. Advantage being played. Will this be a yellow card on Fondeca? We'll see. In the meantime, the shot out of play. I think it'll just be a foul. No yellow card issued. 4:05 to go. Ahead for Gonzalez. Martinez off his line. So we are now under 4 minutes to play. Martinez, have to let this go out. Couldn't touch it with his hand. It's a corner kick for the United States. Now here is that extra field player out there, Matos for Klepal. There's Matos again, switching it for Klepal. Gonzalez. Gonzalez will take this on. We'll send it wide. The last time we saw Matos out with that gold jersey on, the U.S. was able to score. Not on that attempt. We'll see if they go there again. Even with this 1-goal advantage, Dusan Nikita knows they need to win by 2. Maciel will keep this one in play. Through the legs for Klepal. Klepal shoots, and it's deflected up and over. Somebody lost a shin guard. I think that's Everson Maciel who lost it. Take that back from Yasmani Martinez. Gonzalez for Escobar. And here is Matos wearing that gold jersey. Gonzalez again for Maciel. And out again, another kick incoming. Gonzalez will win another corner kick for the U.S., keeping the pressure on. This is all about the top spot in Group D at this point. El Salvador hoping Cuba can keep it right where it's at. The United States trying to extend that advantage out. Escobar for Matos. Gonzalez locked down, and this will go out of play. And there will be a timeout on the field. Final couple of minutes here for the United States and Cuba. And we're really getting down to it at the end of this game. Remember, El Salvador on 7 points. The live standings have the United States on 7 points as well, but the goal difference is only +3, while El Salvador's is +4. With the United States scoring 3 goals, they are level on goals 4, which means 1 more goal scored from the U.S. would give them the tiebreaker in that category. But of course, the first tiebreaker is points, then it's goal difference, and then it's goals scored. So a lot to sort out here in the last couple of minutes. Cuba has been good so far in this half, although they have conceded that 1 goal that has relinquished the lead after they got it back to 2-2. And Yasmani Martinez, the goalkeeper change, is now back in net for Cuba. And it looks like Rainier Socoras is wearing that, we call it the orange jersey there for Cuba, waiting to potentially come on. Could we see no goalkeepers for either side at one point? We'll see if that transpires. This one sent forward and out of play. Trying to find Ventura Jr. And Moretti will come back on. Socoras will now come on. He will be the extra field player, you can call it, for Cuba now. Always a risk, and you can see the high pressure here from the U.S. And the sub will now come. Martinez back on for Cuba. Matos gets this one in. And there's nobody in goal now. This is nervy for the U.S., and the shot is wide. Great chance for Walter Diaz to level things with under 2 minutes to go. Matos will let this go through. Gonzalez. Maciel. Gonzalez in the middle. Saved by Martinez. Escobar. Martinez will just knock this downfield. Here's Matos on the ball, still in that gold jersey. Gonzalez. Diaz couldn't get the shot far enough past Escobar. Maciel, his shot deflecting around. It's right in front. Can they put this one away? They cannot. Gonzalez, a golden opportunity. It's still there for Maciel, and it's out of play. Kick in for the U.S., 1:05 to go. They nearly found that goal. Matos, now Escobar right down the middle. Daniel Matos, his shot deflects out. Ventura Jr. was asking for it. Under a minute to go. Can the U.S. find the goal to win them the group? Into the middle, Maciel skies it. And it's taken away. Ventura Jr. ahead for Maciel, back for Ventura Jr. Here's the shot, it's wide by Gonzalez. Numbers there for the U.S. and they couldn't find the finish. Cuba now back the other way. Shot chested into the penalty area. And then it's put out of play. 37.6 seconds left. 3-2 USA. Moretti, will he stay on here? At least for the moment. Gonzalez for Maciel. Maciel has it taken away by Martinez. 28.4 left to play now. And Daniel Matos back on. Here he is in the center circle. Ventura Jr. wins a corner kick. Now 23 seconds to go. This one's sent in, and there's the goal for the United States. That might win them the group. Ventura sent it in on the corner. Gonzalez provided the finish, and the United States have a 2-goal advantage, exactly what they needed. And now they'll put on their defensive unit here with 21 seconds left. They know they need to hold on to this lead. Pondeka trying to close this out. So now the United States and El Salvador level on 7 points, level on goal difference, but because the U.S. has scored 4 goals in this game, they now have more goals scored than El Salvador, which will win them the group if it stays as it is. 5 seconds to go, and it should stay as this is at 4-2. 4 seconds to go. Last chance here for Cuba. There's the horn, and the United States has won Group D at the 2021 Concacaf Futsal Championship. They left it right up until the last, but still able to get it done in the end. So Group D is complete. Cuba goes 0 for 3, no points, and they finish at the bottom of this group. It goes the United States, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and then Cuba. So the final game of Group D, it finishes Cuba 2, the United States 4.